France is buzzing with anger, literally. A controversial new law reintroducing acetamiprid, a pesticide banned since 2018 for its deadly effect on bees, has triggered a national outcry. Proposed by Conservative MP Laurent Duplomb and passed on July 8th, the law claims to ease pressure on farmers, but it stirred up a storm. Within days, 23-year-old master's student Eleanor Pattery launched a petition calling it a public health and environmental aberration. That petition, it's now France's biggest ever, with over 600,000 signatures. Environmentalists, actors and lawmakers are rallying behind the movement, calling for the law's repeal and a public consultation. Well, to go over all the latest, we're joined on set now by Lorine Azoulai, Advocacy Officer for Food Sovereignty at CCFD-Terre Solidaire. Thanks so much for joining us on set here, Lorine. Why has this petition gained so much traction over such a short pace of time?
Well, I think people are very concerned about their health and the way the food are produced and what they eat. There has been a lot of mobilizations before that the law was passed. And I think the work of the civil society and farmers' organizations and has been a success, at least to make sure that all citizens were concerned with what was within this law.
Let's cut to the chase. How dangerous is acetamiprid to human health? I mean, are we talking long-term chronic risks, immediate toxic effects?
We're talking cancers, we're talking problems in the development of the nervous systems of kids, we're talking hormone disruptors. I mean, it has been banned for a good reason, so we don't understand why it's coming back.
Well, that brings me to the next question, because, I mean, this was banned in 2018. So what has changed significantly? I mean, why now?
So there have been a lot of mobilizations from farmers in France, in Europe, claiming that their income wasn't enough. And there are many problems within our farming and food systems. And this law claimed to address those problems. But it doesn't. It simply doesn't. The problems that farmers are facing today is how they can adapt to climate change, how they can stop the erosion of biodiversity, how they can have better income, how the value can be better shared within the food chain. This law doesn't address those problems. It only addresses the interests of a very few economic interests, and sadly, it has used the mobilizations of farmers and used it to promote the law.
Well, take me through that law, because it managed to go under the radar effectively because it got passed. What does it entail exactly? I mean, it's just the reintroduction of this pesticide, or is there more to it?
So within the law, you can find the introduction of acetamiprid and flupiradifuron and other neonicotinoids that are forbidden in France but authorized in the EU. You can also find articles about having more big livestock farms, making it easier to have industrial livestock farms without having regulations or studies about their environmental impact. It's also about having mega water reservoirs for irrigation. And it also questions the role of our sanitary agency, ANSES, which is the agency that decides on whether pesticides should be authorized or not.
So some farmers are saying that they have no alternative and they need this law to basically support them. But if there are there really no alternatives to protect their crops? I mean, is this statement true?
Well, if you take sugar beet is also produced in an organic way. So I'd say that there alternatives exist. Now the real question is, are we hearing the voices of all our farmers in France? Mm-hmm. We had a study last year, beginning of 2024, that showed us that among the farmers that were questioned, 85% of the farmers wanted a transition, an ecological transition. They're concerned about this, and it's normal. They're concerned about it because they're they're the first people that are impacted for their health, but also for it's their way of life, and it's their working tool. So if they don't take care of the soil, the environment, the biodiversity they work with to produce, then they will be the first impacted.
Is there any hope for an organization like yourselves that this law can be repealed, or is this petition, it's gone at 600,000 signatures in the moment of speaking, it is likely to even break more barriers, but that is going to be debated purely on the petition itself? I mean, can this actually affect the law being implemented at this stage?
Exactly. So the petition will be discussed in the parliament. At the moment, the law is also examined to see if it's compatible with our constitution. And we also know that members of our collective Nourrir, will take legal action against the decree that will come out from this law. What is sure is that this petition shows one thing. It shows that people, citizens, are concerned about their food, their health, and there is a need for a democratic debate around those questions. And we really hope that parliamentaries will take that into account, and that at the end of the summer holiday, they will come up with a real proposition about a just transition for food and agriculture systems.
A final question. Do you fear that this is just the tip of the iceberg, that this reapproval could spark off a chain reaction, if you will, of other banned substances being reintroduced?
Well, I think if you follow the logic, that's the main question. If you are talking unfair competition, then you also need maybe to lower the salary and the income of our farmers, and you go through a road you don't want to go. We want to, on the contrary, have all the EU countries having better, higher standards for our health, for our environment, and also for our farmers. I mean, they are the main actors here.
The absolute staple of France, and we'll see what kind of reaction this does get. Of course, very much an evolving situation with all those signatures for the petition. Thank you so much, Lorine Azoulai, Advocacy Officer for Food Sovereignty at CCFD-Terre Solidaire.